Hel- Hello and welcome to the summaries of chapters 7 and 8 in the legal environment of business. Chapter 7 covered the topics of ethics and social responsibility. In the topic of ethics, the chapter first gave the definition, but then went on to talk about business ethics. Ethics in general, is defined as the study of what makes up good and bad conduct, inclusive or related actions and values. Business ethics is the study of what makes up good and bad conduct as related to business activities and values. The book also talked about corporate codes of ethics. The corporate code of ethics is made in part by the corporate culture, which is the environment for doing business. The book then also covered the actions that are typically forbidden. Those actions would be paying bribes to foreign government officials, fixing prices, giving gifts to customers or accepting gifts from suppliers, using insider information, and revealing trade secrets. The book then moved on to talk about social responsibility. The idea of social responsibility really gained a lot of traction in the 1960s. The three main things that the public has concerns on would be the complexity and interdependence of a post-industrial society, political influence that have translated public outcry from social responsibility conduct into government regulation, and physiological differences about what the obligations of business should be. There are several different schools of thoughts when it comes to social responsibility. The schools are profit-oriented, managerial, industrial, professional obligation, and regulation. The chapter ended with a look at global dimensions of ethics and social responsibility. The book gave just 4 tips. They would be respect for the nation's sovereignty in countries where such companies operate, to adhere to sociocultural values, to respect for human rights, and to abstain from corrupt practices. Chapter 8 then covered the international legal environment of business. The first thing that the chapter covered would be the 4 dimensions of international environment of business. Those dimensions would be political, economic, cultural, and legal. When looking at the political dimensions, a manager of a company should look at the sustainability of the government and if economic decisions are centralized or decentralized. When looking at the economic decisions, the manager should have 4 factors to look at. Those would be differences in size and economic growth rate of the various nation states, the impact of central planning versus marketing economy, the availability of disposable income, and the existence of an appropriate transportation infrastructure. When looking at the cultural dimension, the manager must know what culture is. The book defines culture as learned norms of society based on values and beliefs. Managers have to be guided by the national legal system of both countries and also by international law. And that is a brief summary of chapters 7 and 8 in the legal environment of business.